Good morning. Happy Monday. It's Monday Mojo time again. Another Monday, and obviously it feels like it's an hour earlier because the clock's changed and it's now officially spring. It's been talking about spring for ages and it's been threatening, hasn't it? But here it is. So I hope everybody's got a spring in their step today. Oh, that was cheesy, wasn't it? Right, close that. I've got my coffee. Third coffee today. Yeah. Because it's an early start and we had a mental weekend, so actually extra knackered today. Good morning, Jane. How's your bumblebee? I've just sent you the link for the recording, so I got super organized this morning. I thought I'd do it before I do anything else. I'll send you the link so you've got it, so if you need to go back and catch up on anything, you can. Good morning, Bogner. Good morning, Isabel. Hiya, how you doing? So how is everybody's spring hour spring forward, isn't it? So we've lost an hour in the morning, gained an hour in the evening, which is really odd because we went out, we had a mental weekend. I'll tell you all about it. It was so funny. But of course, when we came home last night, we managed to watch a whole film and I didn't understand why we were still awake and how we were staying awake. But then I remembered, because actually, our bodies think it's an hour earlier. So when we didn't go to bed until like 11 o'clock, I thought, well, that's not like us, because usually we're in bed about that time, but we've fallen asleep already before we've gone to bed. But this time we hadn't. Stayed awake a whole film. I didn't know quite how that worked, but it did. And then this morning, of course, when the alarm went off, it felt like the middle of the night. Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Joe. So we had a wonderful workshop on Saturday morning. I did the bumblebee workshop and it was lovely. It was a lovely group. There was 6 of us all together, and everybody, we didn't get to put in the beads on, but the framework and the wings and everything were all done, and we got everything done. So it's just a case of embellishing. So I hope you've all got round to that, and I can't wait to see them finished. Good morning, Lynn. So that'd be really lovely to see. So this workshop we did, the bumblebee. It's the right thing, isn't it, for this time of year? Perfect timing, that workshop, bumblebee. And I got one here that I've started in a silver colorway, which I think will look nice once it's done. So it's all prepped. I just got to fill it with beads, which I think I'll do today. Good morning, says Marjorie. Just popped on to say hello. Off to post my projects. We'll watch later. Oh, well, have a nice time at the post office. It's a shame you're not coming to our post office. You like my donut? Yes, I got my donut on. It's a gorgeous mookite. It's lovely, isn't it? And I did this one in a silver colorway. So usually I do everything in copper, but I just thought for a difference. And silver seems to sell well here in the shop. It sells better than copper. So I thought I'd do that one, but then I've put it on. But of course I can change the donut, which is great. It's just the whole beauty of the project. So if I change my outfit, I can change my donut. Yeah, so that's exciting. And well done, everybody who's booking onto the all the workshops I've got coming up. They're obviously popular ones. I got the Lotus Cab workshop coming up, and the interchangeable donut bail workshop coming up. So if you didn't get to do it with me in person, or you want to do it again with the video recording, then you can pop along to that and do this interchangeable donut workshop. You've got a yellow fluorite. Oh, nice. I like yellow fluorite. I've got an amethyst and a Kambaba jasper and a picture jasper, and I've got loads. I've got loads of donuts actually. But yeah, it's I'll take it. I'll show you another one in a minute so I can show you how it comes apart. Yeah, so that's those are all booking up. So and I fixed my website at long last. It's fixed. So now when you go on, it won't show you a warning triangle saying it's not secure. It was secure all along. It's just something about an SSL setting. And I contacted the support team, and they did it for me. They were great. They didn't even charge me. So yeah, something about pointing my website at it and some SSL thing. I don't understand this stuff, but they did it, and it's all fixed, and now it looks nice and safe. Because yeah, last week I had a terrible incident where somebody had been trying to book onto my workshop in Bishop Wilton in person and hadn't, and so there was no bookings on that workshop, so I didn't go, and the lady turned up because she wanted to do the workshop, and of course I wasn't there. I was absolutely gutted. So I made me wonder how many more people had trouble, because it said it wasn't secure. Some firewalls won't let you book or pay for anything. So so yeah, new lipstick, and it's a bit dark and I can see it on my tongue. Oh, a large blue fluorite, nice. I think blue fluorite is my favorite. I got this necklace that I dug out the other day. This is big chunky blue fluorites. I mean, that's gorgeous, isn't it? It's just very simple, but it looks great with a pair of jeans. In fact, it looked nice with this outfit today, actually. Just very summery, isn't it? Light. I just cut my hair this morning. As we went away for the weekend. We went away for the night, Saturday night, and I was looking back at the photos. I was thinking, my hair's blooming awful. So this morning I took the scissors to it, and yeah, I've just put myself a bit of a fringe in. That's all I've done, and I've got these. Look at my grey. It's like, it really shows it up now because the parting's where it is. But you know, it happens to us all, doesn't it? I'm not spending all that money getting it covered up. I just can't do it. I can't justify it. I'd love to, but yeah, it's just cost too much money. So yeah, I've just cut the fringe a bit just so that it just so that I don't look like I've got such a slap head. But thank you, Jane. Good. Yeah, YouTube tutorial. Chop the front. That's how I always cut my hair, to be honest. I haven't had my hair cut by a hairdresser since I moved. I think it was probably this time last year. I thought I'll get a haircut in before I move, and that's it. So I just do it myself. Isabel says, spent the weekend lighting 4 ballet shows for my daughter's dance school and sold a load of souvenir sun catchers in the intervals. Winner. Oh, amazing. So weekend lighting, is that I think that might not be the right word, but going to 4 ballet shows. Gosh, was she performing in all of them? That's an intense weekend of performance. Joe says, I thought you had a workshop on the 18th. Have I been dreaming? 18th of April? I don't think so. I can't remember when they are. One's the 25th of April, and then one's 30th of May, I think. No, I think you might have been dreaming, Joe. Where's my website? To be fair, I could just look here. Oh, and also those of you who've got the calendar, the April workshop is up and ready. It's the lovely flower brooch, so you'll be able to see that that tutorial. You can download it. It's ready for you. I've been a busy bee the last few weeks. The last week. I don't know why, but my computer's very, very slow today. Let's have a look. Workshops. So Bumblebee was the 28th. The Lotus Cab is on the 25th of April, and the interchangeable donut bale is on the 30th of May. So that's the online workshops I've got on at the moment. And this week I shall be putting on a milliput workshop. So that I'm just putting the projects together now, but it will cover sort of the functions of Milliput, how they work, how it works, the sort of types of things you can do with it. And then we'll do 2 projects. One will be a cabochon embellishment project, and the other will be, I think, I don't know yet. I haven't quite decided what yet. Maybe more of a sculptural one. So yeah, so that'll be fun. Right, where am I? Live streaming. Yes. You lit the stage, 280 kids. It was intense. My daughter's dance school. Wow, it sounds intense. Oh, you've already found it. Yay, good. Like I'm worried. Hi, I thought you had a workshop on the no, like I'm worried about grey hair. Yeah. I'm just getting over it now. It's like a little highlight, isn't it? My Malin streak. Do you remember that? My mum used to say it's a Malin streak. That's amazing. So you did all the lighting. That's incredible. You'd like to do the Milliput, Jane? Yeah, I think you'd enjoy it because there's so many applications, and it's just lovely sculptural stuff. So I'm going to try and get on with that. And I've got some projects in mind for me. I've found some beautiful pieces of bark, and I'm going to work them into pieces of jewellery with Milliput and setting stones. And Marie also challenged me to do something with, I don't know if you were at the event, Marie challenged me to do something with these like chicken foot pearls. I mean, they're really quite amazing because they got so much luster, and the metallic nature of them is so intense, but they are difficult to know what to do with them, and sometimes the composition of them isn't great. It doesn't, so you have to add to sort of bring it into balance, bring the piece into balance. So I'm thinking I'm going to work into this with some gemstones and some Milliput as the medium to sort of bring some balance to it. So that's my challenge, and hopefully I'll get to it this week. But again, I got a very busy week this week because I'm teaching to Wednesday, and I got the shop, and of course it's a short week, so I've got to cram everything from the post office into just the 3 days, 3.5 days. So yeah. What's happened to mine too? What's happened to yours too? Good morning, Linda. I did say that, didn't I? I've still got a bit of lipstick on my tuff. So let me tell you what happened this weekend. So when I booked for Chris and I to do something silly on the weekend because it was his birthday a few weeks ago, and I booked us a present. You're grey, okay. So I thought, since we've been here, we've been very serious. Things are very serious. We got married, we moved house, we changed jobs, we took on a business. Chris started a business. We live in the countryside. There's no pubs or parties that we used to go to. So I thought we need to do something really silly and just blow out and have a great time and do something completely off the wall. So I don't know if any of you have heard of it before, but we did something called Bongo Bingo. Now, Bongo Bingo is like a cross between bingo and a rave. So it's bonkers. And it started in lockdown online. 2 silly guys started it up by using mobile phones as the phone numbers, and they would call out numbers, and in between numbers they would make you dance or do something daft, and the prizes are silly, like, I don't know, Cocoa Pops or inflatables or cutouts of weird celebrities. So absolutely bonkers. It's bingo, but not, if you know what I mean. So you have a book of bingo, but they use the numbers to sort of make you do silly things. So I played it online, and I played a version before at Butlins when I've been to the Butlins, and I thought, well, silly and fun. And so I booked us some tickets to that, and we had an Airbnb overnight in York Centre. So great, that's what we'll do. So we got into York, we left the shop nice and early, booked a dog walker, and a house sitter. So it was all, Willow was all sorted. We had a completely free time to ourselves. So we got into York nice and early, checked into our accommodation, got changed for our night out, went into town. Luckily, we had a few drinks, because good job we did, because we needed them to cope with the onslaught. And then we got to the venue, and the ticket said 5:30, or when we got there, it didn't start till 7:30. So it was just music, and it was, if you can imagine, like a massive auditorium, like a gymnasium, but bigger. So the Barbican York. So if you know it, it's, you know, a big venue, and the whole venue was trestle tables. So rows of tables with benches, and it was just like the whole room was packed full of them. It must have seated about 2,000 people, and it was a sellout. So we got there. We were 2 hours early, so of course we were making our own fun. There were people coming in. Chris said, "Oh, it's quite quiet, really. I thought it'd be busy." I said, "Well, it's a sellout, so I'm surprised people aren't here." Anyway, it started to fill up. But what we noticed was, as it filled up, it was all women and hen parties mainly. So and you can imagine, you know, hen parties are wild, aren't they? And so Chris was in the massive minority of men in the building. It was just one hen party after another arrived. So basically, I booked Chris a giant hen party, and then on the stage, so the music started. It was good music. We thought, good, it is at least great music. And then the compere came on the stage, and then two men in lederhosen, like, you know, German beer girl sort of dresses. I don't know what they're called. You know, like the little tiny frilly dresses. Two men dressed in those came swanning out onto the stage, dancing. And yes, basically, at one point, the crowd had to scream to get these men to strip. So basically, I took Chris to a hen do with strippers. And what happened was, I'd gone to the loo, and when I'd gone out to the loo, it was quite a trek, you know, to get out. I came back, and Chris's face was like thunder, and because we were early as well, we were sat right at the front on the stage. And I got back, and Chris just was like, because while I'd been gone, the guys had stripped, and they did. I actually didn't think they would, but they did. They stripped, and they shook their bums right on Chris, you know, like right by him. So I said, "Shall we go?" So anyway, we stayed another game and played one more, and then we left. But I mean, we had a great time, don't get me wrong. We were dancing on the chairs and standing on the benches, dancing and doing all the silly shout outs, and it was good fun. But I think it was more fun for me than it was for Chris. And so earlier in the day, we'd found a pub just near it, and it said it had glam rock on in the evening, and we joked and said that would be silly, wouldn't it? That's like a really silly thing to go and do, see a glam rock band. And so we left there in this very silly frame of mind and went to the glam rock night, and then ended up singing with the glam rock guys, who were the most fancy dress glam rock I think I've ever seen. And so that was very silly, and we did have a very silly night. So the intention was great, but then we spent the next day, Sunday, walking around York yesterday, very hungover, and just managing to just eat little bits of food here and there. So we were very worse for wear yesterday, but there you go. So we did have our extremely silly weekend, which I think has done us good, even though at the time I think Chris was thinking this is the worst birthday present ever. So it's my birthday next, so I'm hoping he doesn't get his own back. So yes, it was very, very funny. Can you imagine? I'm so sorry, Chris. I had no idea, because you know, I know people who've been, and it's a mix of, you know, couples mainly, men, women, complete mix. I had heard nothing about it being heavily female oriented and hen do. I knew it's a great place to have a hen do, like, or a stag do, but it's definitely not a stag do thing because it was heavily aimed at women with male strippers dressed as women called the Bingo Babes. But it wasn't seedy, it was funny, it was comedy stripping, you know. I think, well, I wasn't there actually, I didn't see it, but Chris didn't enjoy it. So I think I'll be banned from picking what we do next year. But I can't wait to go again. I will definitely go again because it was so silly, and I cannot wait to take my sister because she will love it. Not for the strippers, I couldn't care less about those, but just the silliness of it and the bingo and the dancing. Great combination of things to do. So if it comes to an area near you and you really need to let your hair down, go there. You've got no choice but to let your hair down. So it's a great thing to do. Right then, anyway, shall we vote? Do you want to vote for what tutorial you would like this week? So we're going to do the mini mystery make. Pick a box. So I've got boxes 1 to 10. You might have, if you were quick, got a sneak peek what was in them. And so if you pick a number 1 to 10, whichever number gets the most votes, I will open and do the demonstration that's in there. That's our mini mystery make. So let me get my pen out ready. Box 10 for Isabel. Box 2 for Jane. This is like bingo again. My niece and her husband go to them and they say the atmosphere is brilliant. It is, Lynn. It really, the atmosphere is brilliant. A 2 for Bogner. Yeah. And I think, personally, I think if Chris and I had gone in a group, like if we'd gone with some couple friends or, you know, a bigger group of us, I think it would have been better. But because Chris was like the only man on the table and right at the front, and it was just him and I to sort of bounce off, you know, I think it was just not the experience I expected, and certainly not what Chris had expected. Right, a 6 for Barbara. I've got that. Yeah. The atmosphere is brilliant. I mean, if you just imagine 2,000 people dancing on benches, you know, they're just up. I mean, I'm surprised there's not more accidents, because, you know, people were really drunk. In fact, when I went into the loo at the end, I sat there and I thought, and I looked down and there was a hand underneath the cubicle. And somebody had collapsed in the cubicle next to me, and the ambulance crew was there. Obviously, they'd gone a bit too far. So yeah, there was that. But as far as I know, nobody fell off the benches, which was amazing because just it was bonkers. Right, I've got Francis's 2. I've got Barbara's 6. Oh no, I haven't got Francis 2. So that would be. Oh, hold on. Yes, I have. No, I haven't got the 2. There's another 2 there. Good. Any more votes? Any more for any more? And Lynn wants a 2 as well. Number 2 for Lynn. What else can I show you? What have I been doing? There's a new project on the go there. I won't show you that until I've perfected it because it's a little bit of time to go. I'll tell you what, just while I'm waiting for your votes to come in, I'm going to promote my workshops. So let's bring some over. I've got, so the next one coming up is this one, the donut, the lotus wrap, the lotus cab set. So I've called it that because this is quite lotus-like, and you can make these a bit pointier if you wanted to, but I thought they look quite lotusy. So this is the cabochon wrap, lotus cab wrap workshop coming up on the 25th of April. So a few weeks away, and there's a smaller version so you can scale it down. You can see how you can scale it down a bit. That's the little one. Cute, isn't it? So that's that one. And then I also have the donut veil, interchangeable donut veil, by popular demand. So it wasn't going to be an online workshop, but so many people asked me for it that I thought I would do it. So you can see I've got one on my neck here, but the beauty of it is it's interchangeable. So the cord keeps it together. So the cord acts as the lock, and we just, if we slip that off, slide it off, we've got a bail that you can see here, it opens up, the donut slips out, and that means you can then, let's grab another one, you can then just pop another donut on and close it up, and that's it. So it's got a hinge. You can adjust the size really easily. The pattern is the same. You just use different size donut to make your template, and I can go through that. So yeah, so you just need one bill and as many donuts as you can possibly have in your stash, and you can just swap and change them out. And also a great thing for, you know, on if you've got tables, sale tables, you can have all the donuts, and you can pick whatever donut they like to go in their bail. Or if you're gifting and making gift sets, perhaps you can have your donut bail and then maybe 3 different donuts and offer it as something that's interchangeable. You can use the metaphysical properties, you can do the chakras. So depending on what that person sort of wants metaphysically, you know, they can do that, as well as color, or, you know. So it's a really versatile project, this really versatile bit of kit, this bail, and it's actually not too difficult to complete, and we can do that on a workshop. I think it'll be lovely. You can also, there's lots of ways you can embellish it, so lots of ways you can add to it, add your own flair as well. Could make polymer donuts. Yeah, Isabel, and going back actually several years ago, probably like 10 years ago actually, Debbie Bolford and I did a joint workshop where I did a version of this. My engineering skills have got a bit better, I think. So although it's, you know, that donut bail does still work, this one is a bit more versatile. So yeah, I did a workshop, yeah, about 10 years ago, and Debbie Bolford made the donut and I did the bail. So we worked it together, and that's, you know. But I know donuts is something that lots of people seem to collect. I mean, I've got loads of donuts. I know you have. Marie says they sell like hotcakes or hot donuts. So I thought, well, that's the project I took to Chalmers with me, and yeah, it seems to be quite popular. So yeah, so this is my silver version. I did it slightly different. You can see I've bent the coils round a different direction on this one. So that's okay, Leslie. You missed my story about taking Chris to a hen do to see strippers, but you'll have to just catch it on replay if you want to know the goss. Right then. So do you want to vote, Leslie? You're going to book on, Isabel? Yeah, it'd be nice to have you. We'll watch a replay. Yeah, it's a good one. Good story. Well, I think it's a good story. Chris would disagree. Well, I got lots of votes in, but if you, oh, Leslie, you're going for number 2. Right, we've got loads of votes for number 2. So shall we open the box and see what's in there? have a look. What's in box number 2? Ah, that's good. I literally just put these in here today. I thought I mixed them up, but couldn't have. So I'll get both out. We're going to embellish what's here, but it's the basis of the project. So it's actually a ring today. So here it is. This is the ring from the front, but it's an adjustable ring. So if I pop it on, I'm not being rude so I'm not going to put my middle finger up. So there's the ring there, and at the back you can see it's adjustable. So I'm going to show you how to create that, how to measure up to know you get the right amount of wire. And it was actually a commission I did the other day for somebody because they liked the ring style at the front, but they didn't know the size of their friend's finger. So I said, well, I can do a version in an adjustable style. And so I'll show you how to channel set into here and embellish them a bit further as well. But yeah, so, and as I was doing it, I perfected it, and I thought, you know what, that's a good mini make. So I put it in the mini bake box. Right then, what do I need? Do I need a ruler? No. I do need a ring mandrel. And I'm going to say a minimum of a 1 mil wire, but probably 1.25 is probably better for rings. So do whichever one you think. I say practice with that's a 2 mil, don't want that. Practice with a 1 mil perhaps, and then but a 1.25 will be a much better gauge for making a ring, especially an adjustable one that needs to open and close a little bit or be able to stretch out. So I'm just going to cut the raggedy end off of here, and then I'm going to bring the camera round to there. Cover it up for a second. Put it in place. There we go. How's that? Yeah. Okay. So first off, decide roughly on the size of ring you would like. So just use a scrap bit of wire. If you've got a bit of scrap, I've got a bit of scrap here. And go for, you know, sort of not too small, but I would say all the numbers are gone off here, but go for a ring just probably slightly smaller than your average size. I think your average ring size is an N. So if you just go slightly smaller than an N, that means it can shrink a bit and grow a bit or be perfect. Okay. Thanks, Leslie. I cut it myself this morning because I was fed up of it just looking a bit dank. Right. So take your scrap bit of wire around the mandrel and just make like a big jump ring. Okay. So that's there. So that's the size we want it. Okay. And then we can just open that back out. So that's going to be our gauge for the size. Okay. Like that. And then we want to take this, and then we'll measure halfway on there. So take it to your tape measure. I've got my ruler so that it stays in shot. So take it to your tape, to your measure. Let's have a look. 2.5, let's do it. Centimeters is easier. Let's mark halfway roughly along here. So it's 6 centimeters. So I'm going to mark the 3. All right. So what we want to do is I probably could do this simpler, but I'm going to go with this. So we want 1.5. So we're going to mark a full length on the wire and then come down to do a half again. All right. That's going to give us enough to like decorate the ring on the front. And then we're going to do the whole width. So that's going to be the size of the ring there. And then we're going to go 1.5 again this side. So 1.5 the width. We want in the middle, we want the width of the ring, the sort of whole band. And then we want it's about 1.5 times that on either side. Okay, I hope that's clear. I think I could have explained that better. But there we go. You can see we've got, you know, what we need. Okay. So now we're going to take our chain or flat nose pliers, whichever you fancy, and we're going to pop the pliers. If this is the ring here, this bit, these are the decorative bits on the sides. This is the ring. We want to make sure that we put the pliers inside the line that we've created. So the line is just there. Let me see if I can change the camera setting so that it focuses on this bit a bit better. Bear with me. Let's go there. Right, so we want the pliers to be on the inside of the line. Okay, so can you see my little line there? I've got the pliers just on the inside of it. Hold on nice and tight with your dominant hand, and then with your non-dominant hand or your thumb, push the wire really firmly against the side of your pliers, and then we're going to double that wire all the way back on itself like that. Okay, and then we're going to come to the other side, inside the line again, so just on the inside of the line that we've created, and then we're going to bend that back on itself the opposite way. Okay, so the wires sit either side of the central band. So get those pliers in and pinch them there. Okay, and then we're going to pinch these closed. So give them a good old pinch. This is a 1.25 wire, so it's a bit tricky. So just take your time, pinch them together as best you can. I find the further down into the jaws of the pliers you go, the more control you've got and the less likely it is to, you know, spin in your pliers and slip. All right then. So now we're going to spiral these back into themselves, and we want the spirals to sort of line up at the center, or you can have them, you know, off center. And actually when we pull this round, we're going to lose a bit. So what you want is for them to not be quite center there. We want them slightly off center on both sides, so that when we bring it round to the front, the two coils line up. So if we say this is the center here, we want to aim for our coil just to be this side of it and this side of it on the bottom. Does that make sense? Let's do it. And I actually think I've probably got a bit too much wire here, but better too much than not enough. So I'm going to trim a bit off each side. And you can always do this as you go, but it gives you options if you've got that much wire. So if you want to do something a bit more exciting than just a spiral, you can. So I'm going to grab a hold of the tip of the wire on this side, and I'm going to start rolling it, spiraling it in towards the center. So I don't want the spiral too tight, but I don't want it too massive either, because remember, it's got to sit on the finger, and if it's too big it might get in the way. So just adjust it as you go and roll it so that it's nearly in the center. There we go, about there. That's that one. And then we'll do the same with the other side. And if you find it a bit tough to spiral this thick wire, just you know, come slightly back from the end, and then once you've got your start of your curl, you can trim off the end so you don't get that straight bit in the middle that gives you more of a teardrop shape than a spiral. So let's bring this one in as well. So can you see what I mean? We want them to sit slightly jaunty to one another, not completely opposite. All right. And then we're going to hammer the spirals to give them a bit of texture whilst it's still flat. So I'm going to take the block, take my steel block and my pad, get a little hammer, and I'm going to hammer the spirals nice and flat. Now you can hammer them flat, or you can put a bit of texture in. So if you want a bit of texture, just use the rounded end of your hammer. Like that. You can hammer across the center slightly if you want. Just don't hammer the sides just yet, that's all. We just want the spirals. Okay, so there's our spirals hammered. And then before we go around the mandrel, I'm going to get you to just form those a little bit. So you can do this after if you like, but if you have got a pair of these pliers, it's easier to sort of shape the spirals slightly before we go round the mandrel, because it's hard to get those pushed against the mandrel. So I use my bail making pliers to put a bit of a curve on those spirals to help them settle onto the mandrel once we go. If they're a bit pronounced, don't worry, they will flatten out, no problem. So we've got a bit of a profile on those now. It's going to help it sit round the mandrel. Right, then we take it to our mandrel. And always when you're making a ring, always start smaller and then grow your piece rather than trying to start at the same point, because it will always stretch a bit. So always start at the top and then grow it. So if you want to, you can start that off with your mandrel, with your bail makers, to give you a little head start. So maybe the two ends, get them curled in to start with, and then take it to your mandrel at the smallest point possible and push the ring around the mandrel. Okay, don't worry if it overlaps, that's absolutely fine. So we got it there around the mandrel, roughly. Okay, then we can take that to just a sandbag or whatever it is you use underneath your block. It might be a rubber block, that's fine. And then we're going to take a rawhide or acrylic mallet. We're going to bash all the way around. And as you do this, the ring is going to start pushing up the mandrel. So it's going to start getting bigger. And what you can do is roll and push so that it starts stretching itself around the ring, around the mandrel, till it grows to the size that you want it to be. Oh, my sandbag's leaking. Let's keep going round. Good bash all sides, and then we can stretch it down to where those wires meet. It's actually grown a bit, hasn't it? But there we go. And oh, let's get those hammered down. There we go. Okay, so there is your adjustable ring, so it can stretch and grow a bit. You can make these smaller or larger, or you can do a more elaborate sort of zigzaggy pattern or something like that. But there's your adjustable ring. The same sort of thing applies for, you know, hair braids, you know, the hair wraps. You could do the same sort of thing with these, but that makes the ring completely adjustable but nice and strong. So then if you wanted to, you could channel set. So just pull these out slightly to give yourself a channel here and here, and then we can pop some gemstones in there. So I've got handy on my desk some, what have I got? Are these too big? Oh, they'll be all right. We use these. So I've got some nice like 3mm spinels. These might be agates actually. Some 3mm sparkly black gemstones anyway. So let's grab a couple of those. And because this these channels are tapered, you can actually start with a bigger bead and then taper down. So we could start with a 3mm here, and I could end up with a 2mm sort of a bit further round. If depends on how far round you want to go. You can also set all the way around the spiral if you want to. You know, there's lots of scope there. So we can go, let's get, have I got any 0.4mm wire out? Yes. Give a bit of wire. And then, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my wire through the ring band and attach it. So I want an equal amount of wire either side. So I've probably got about, I don't know, 40 centimeters or so. I'm going to have some wire going this way to channel set and some going the other, but it means I only have to add one piece of wire in. So I'm just going to wrap round once that middle wire like that. And so I've got now one wire to go this way and one wire to go the other. So we bring, I'm going to turn it around actually, so I got my wires on the top. That's a better idea. So when you do this, make sure that your wires are across the top of the ring, not inside, because then you can add gemstones straight away. So, and also make sure that the wires are going in the right direction. So because I flipped it over, it's back to front. So let's do that again. Putting the wire in the center. I want one wire to channel set this way, so I want it this side, and one wire to channel set the other way, so I want it that side. Does that make sense now? It's better, isn't it? So it sits like that in the center. Then we're going to add a gemstone to this side. So I'm going to add that, let it sit in between the wires. Hold it firmly between your thumb and forefinger. If you don't, what might happen is this might pull in and the gemstone will sit on the top, and we want the gemstone to sit in the channel. So push it in there with your thumb and finger, hold it whilst you put the wrap in. So wrap around the outside of the frame like that. Just one wrap will do. Take the wire underneath. Again, keep your finger on that gemstone so that it doesn't, so that when you wrap around this frame, it doesn't cinch it in and force the gemstone to sit on the top. And we're going to go all the way around the frame, put it nice and tight, and then add your next gemstone in. Okay, so I can sit inside, keep it held into the channel and stitch it in. Okay, let's do them on the other side. So we might want to wiggle it round so that it's central. There we go. It's hard to see the drill holes on these little tiny black faceted beads. There you go, sit it into the channel, hold it down, pop the wire around. Now this wire, once it's added the gemstone on, you don't immediately add another. You take the wire underneath the frame, back to the other side, wrap it round, and then you add another gemstone. So you only add gemstones when the wire's coming across the top of the frame, not when it's going underneath it. Otherwise your gemstones won't sit straight, they'll sit higgledy-piggledy. And also it will be uncomfortable on the finger because the ones at the under, you know, on the wire that goes that way will be underneath the ring and not be comfortable. So let's put that there, the wire underneath again. And we might be able to fit another in if that channel is going to allow it. Yeah, let's get another one on each side. Chase it around until you find the drill hole. Underneath. Wrap the wire around. Over the top. Right. Let's pop this one on and then see where we're at. There we go. So there is an embellished ring. Now, of course, if you wanted to, you could have the you could channel set in this section and this section too. So you could just start further back, or you could, what could we do here? I'm just making this up as we go now. So I can come back with this wire, perhaps come back into there. So yes, so instead of adding more wire in, this might be a better way. So bring that tail of wire and then come in between these beads and set. Yeah, that'll work. So let's bring the wire up in between the last bead there. And then we got the wire on the top. So let's see what this looks like. Let's add a couple more beads in. Of course, you could, again, because the gap is wider there, you could add a larger bead in. Let's pop that one there. And then again, we don't want to add the wire when it's going underneath, so we're going to have to bring that wire in between those beads there, so that it's back into a position where you can add a bead. So pop that one on. Let's get that to sit in. Yep, there we go, that's good. And then finish with a few wraps around to make sure it holds in place. Yeah, I prefer that because otherwise it looks like the beads, you know, there's nothing at the center. So it's nice actually wrapping so that the beads cross over. That's nice. Let's go do the same here. Let's bring that wire up where we want it, into between. Add a few there, see what happens. So I'm playing now and I'm just leaving you to follow me. But it is nicer. I think this is nicer than just having the two rows separate. Sort of brings them together. There we go. That one. So bring that one up in between those ones. And another bead. In there, and then wrap a few times to finish it off. So let's Okay. So I would actually say a good place to cut the wires would be in this center bit, because it's less likely to get caught from in the center. So try to get your wires into that center wire. And let's see if I can get that one threaded through. Bit fiddly, but it's worth taking your time to really consider where you cut your wires. So the place to cut the wires is always try and finish your wire wrapping around a single wire rather than two together, and always try and get it into the center of a design. So the least likely place for it to catch or get caught is in the middle on this design as well, because it's protected either side and there's nothing gonna touch that inside. So let's get that wrapped around a couple of times there, and then we'll cut it at the top as well. Instead, rather than at the back, we'll cut it at the top. So let's get that one poked through. We don't want to cut it on the inside of the ring, because and it might scratch somebody's finger. So we want to cut it on the outside. So pull it up nice and tight up there, and then let's get our snips. Where are my snips? And get right in between the beads and snip off the excess wire. And you shouldn't be able to see that, because you've got those lovely sparkly gemstones for a start, which are distracting you, and also they're just sort of nestled in between your weaving. So do your best just to pinch them in so that they are nice and secure. And then if you pinch that weave up, it's sort of going to be hidden in there anyway. So there you go. Bit of channel setting and an adjustable ring. Hello, Maddox and Talia. Is it Easter holidays? And hi, Nikki. How are you? Nikki, I've sent you the link for the workshop as well. So for the recording from Saturday. So just so you know, it should be in your inbox. All right. So there we go. An adjustable ring. Lots of scope for altering the design. But that's the ring with a bit of channel setting. To be honest, I think they look quite nice just without any embellishment. So where have I put mine? I don't know where I've put them now. They look nice just on their own. So, just as the plain metal, plain silver. They look great in copper as well, I think. And they're great as thumb rings, because thumb rings you need to be able to go over your knuckle, but they need to be pinched in. And toe rings as well. They have to be adjustable, don't they? Otherwise they won't go over, the widest part and then stay on your thumb. So they're quite nice little thumb rings. There you go. Let me put a knot in there before I lose all of those gemstones. Oh, there we go. Those down there. And I put the camera back. Oh. That's better. Right, I'm back. All right, Nikki, see you soon. Take care. So that's it. That's your Monday Mojo. Is that all right? Any questions? Anything you want me to show you again? No. Hope you had a great weekend. I'll catch up with you. We did, Nikki. Yeah, when you watch Catch Up, you'll find out all about the chaos that ensued on the weekend. And yeah, my faux pas with taking Chris to pretty much a hen do. So yeah, you can find out all about it. You watch the Catch Up later. Gemma, I will message in a minute. Okay, Sylv. Yeah. let me know if there's something you need. And that's it. All right then, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to get going and get cracking for my next workshop, and then I've got to relieve Chris from the shop so that he can take his mum. I'm going to get used to my new fringe. Bigger stones in the middle of spirals. Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Like we did in the ear threaders, you could pop a stone sort of in the center of the spiral before you do it. That would be really nice and nice and secure as well. Yeah, there's loads of variations you could do on it. So just have a play and see how it goes. Right then. Have a lovely week, everybody, and have a fantastic Easter weekend. Oh, also, I won't be with you on Bank Holiday Monday, so there'll be no Monday Mojo on Bank Holiday Monday because I'm just going to take advantage of having 2 days in a row off together. I'm not doing anything particularly, but yeah, I won't be doing the Mojo. So I won't see you next Monday. So I'll see you in a fortnight. And unless you want to come down to Bishop Wilton and do a workshop with me. Right. See you soon. Bye, everybody. Have a great week.